Have you ever walked through a museum and felt a sudden chill, a strange sense of being watched? What if some of the beautiful artifacts we admire hold more than just historical value? What if they carry with them the spirits of their former owners, stories of tragedy, and a lingering curse? Today, we're diving deep into the world of haunted treasures, objects so beautiful, so valuable, and so utterly terrifying, they've left a trail of misfortune in their wake. Get ready, because these stories are not for the faint of heart. Our first story begins with a gem so famous its name is whispered in legends, the Hope Diamond. This magnificent 45-carat blue diamond is a breathtaking sight, currently housed safely in the Smithsonian. But its beauty masks a dark and turbulent history. The legend begins in 17th century India, where it was supposedly stolen from the eye of a statue of the goddess Sita. From that moment on, a curse was said to fall upon anyone who owned it. The gem passed through the hands of French royalty, including King Louis XIV and Marie Antoinette, both of whom met grim fates. One owner, a Greek merchant, drove his car off a cliff, killing himself and his entire family. Another, Evelyn Walsh McLean, a wealthy American socialite, bought the diamond despite the warnings. She suffered immense tragedy. Her son died in a car crash, her daughter passed away from an overdose, and her husband left her for another woman before eventually dying in a mental institution. Coincidence, or the curse of the Hope Diamond at work? Even the mailman who delivered the diamond to the Smithsonian reportedly suffered a series of unfortunate events, including a crushed leg and the loss of his home in a fire. The Smithsonian officially denies the curse, but the diamond's history tells a chillingly consistent story of sorrow and ruin. Next, we travel to ancient Egypt, to the tomb of a boy king, whose name would become synonymous with curses, Tutankhamun, when Howard Carter and his sponsor, Lord Carnarvon, uncovered King Tut's pristine tomb in 1922. It was the archaeological find of the century. But their celebration was short-lived. The media sensationalized the discovery, spinning tales of a pharaoh's curse that would strike down anyone who disturbed the king's eternal rest. And then, strange things began to happen. Just a few months after the tomb was opened, Lord Carnarvon died from an infected mosquito bite. At the exact moment of his death, all the lights in Cairo mysteriously went out. Back in England, his dog Susie howled and dropped dead. Soon, other members of the expedition team met untimely ends. One died of a fever. Another was reportedly assassinated, and Carter's own personal secretary was found smothered in his bed. In total, over a dozen deaths have been linked to the opening of the tomb. Skeptics argue it was all a mix of coincidence, media hype, and perhaps exposure to ancient bacteria or fungi trapped within the tomb. But the sheer number of mysterious deaths makes you wonder if King Tut's spirit was indeed seeking revenge on those who disturbed his slumber. The treasures are now in a museum, but does the curse linger with them? Let us move from ancient tombs to a piece of furniture with a sinister reputation: the Busby S. Stoop chair. This seemingly ordinary oak chair, also known as the dead man's chair, belonged to a man named Thomas Busby in 18th century England. Busby was a criminal, and after murdering his father-in-law, he was sentenced to hang as he was being led to the gallows. His last request was to have a final drink at his favorite pub, sitting in his favorite chair. Upon finishing his drink, he stood up and declared, "May sudden death come to anyone who dares sit in my chair." His words, it seems, became a powerful curse. During World War II, airmen from a nearby base would dare each other to sit in the chair. Tragically, none of them ever returned from the war. Later, 2 Royal Air Force pilots sat in it, and on their way back to the airfield, their truck crashed, killing them both. The pattern continued for years. A construction worker who sat in it fell from a roof the same day. A cleaning lady stumbled into it and later died from a brain tumor. The death toll reportedly reached 63 people before the pub owner, terrified, donated the chair to the Thirsk Museum in 1972. Today, to prevent any more tragedies, the chair is suspended 5 feet off the ground, ensuring no one can ever sit in it again. But even from its high perch, visitors claim to feel a palpable sense of dread emanating from the wood. Our next object is small, but its story is terrifying. It's the goddess of death, a limestone statue from Lem, Cyprus, dating back to 3500 BC. The statue was first owned by Lord Elfont. Within 6 years of acquiring it, he and all 7 members of his family were dead. The next owner, Ivan Minucci, suffered the same fate, with his entire family perishing within 4 years. The third owner, Lord Thompson Noel, and his family also died within a few years. The statue was then acquired by Sir Alan Beaverbrook. He, his wife, and their 2 daughters all died shortly after. His 2 remaining sons, perhaps aware of the statue's deadly history, donated it to the Royal Scottish Museum in Edinburgh. But the curse didn't stop. The curator who handled the statue died within a year. Does the spirit of a vengeful goddess truly inhabit this ancient carving, bringing death to all who possess it? The museum keeps it securely behind glass, but one has to wonder if its malevolent influence can truly be contained. Finally, we have a painting that has caused chaos and fear wherever it goes, The Anguished Man. This painting is unlike any other. The artist is unknown, but the story is that he mixed his own blood into the paint and took his own life shortly after completing it. The painting was given to a woman named Shaun Robinson by his grandmother. She told him the painting was evil, claiming she would hear crying and see a dark figure in her house when it was on display, so she kept it locked in the attic. Shaun, a skeptic, took the painting home. Soon, his family began experiencing strange phenomena. They heard scratching noises, crying, and saw a tall, shadowy figure of a man in their home. His son was once pushed down the stairs by an unseen force. Shaun decided to document the paranormal activity, setting up a camera to film the painting overnight. The footage he captured is bone-chilling. It shows doors slamming, smoke rising from the painting, and the painting itself falling off the wall for no reason. Overwhelmed by the escalating activity, Sean moved the painting to his basement, but the terrifying events didn't completely stop. He still shares updates on his YouTube channel, documenting the strange occurrences that continue to plague his family, all stemming from this one horrifying piece of art, from a glittering diamond to a simple wooden chair. These haunted treasures remind us that some objects are more than just things. They are vessels of history, emotion, and sometimes something much darker. They carry the energy of their past, and for those who dare to own them, the price can be far greater than money. It can be their peace, their sanity, or even their very life. So the next time you see a beautiful antique, you might want to think twice about the stories it holds. What do you think? Are these curses real, or just a series of tragic coincidences fueled by superstition? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more mysteries. Thanks for watching, and stay curious.